Well, we're lucky enough to be here on Turtle Island at the Turtle Island Healing Ceremony, and I have come across a maiden named Angèle. C'est bon, Angèle. Hello.
Hello.
And you are here at Turtle Island
Hmm.
working at a healing ceremony, which is historical because never have people been invited to actually, on a positive note, to start healing, correct? Can you tell me a little bit about the event?
To the best of my knowledge, I'm still fairly new meeting everybody here. So this is the Healing the Wounds of Turtle Island, and what we're trying to do is we're trying to um, address all of the trauma that has gone on from people of First Nations and from the oppressors as well. And we're trying to shed away as much trauma as we can so we can truly heal and come together as one nation on Turtle Island and heal the world. Go from there.
Now, we are down in central Maine, just so you know, just about on the coast. But Angèle is from Canada, and she's come all the way down from Cornwall, Ontario,
Mm-hmm.
to be with us.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a few questions for you, if you don't mind.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you call home?
Home? Well, that's a tricky question. Home is where the heart is, really. I've had many places that I've called home. Um, I'm currently living in Cornwall, but I'm not sure if that's my true home. I think I'm still looking for it. Um, I every place that I've had a chance to reside was my home, and once you build a sense of community around you, then that's what home is. It's when you're happy and you're loved and you love, and it's unconditional.
Now, you've spent some time here on Mother Earth, but what has she taught you in that time that you've been here?
So many things I still need to be taught. Um, the most important thing I think is that she's alive and that she's wounded and she needs to be healed, and we're the ones that are going to help her. You know, we have to come together collectively, mind, body, and soul, and we have to listen to the trees, listen to the water, listen to the animals, and love the animals, something we don't do very much of. Um, and we have to love everyone, one another, no matter what race, and come together and be one with Mother Earth.
Okay, very good. Now, what advice would you have for all of us other creatures here on Mother Earth?
Advice? um, Listen is a big part. To stop and truly hear what your heart wants, not what other people tell you you should want and need. Listen to yourself. Take the time to calm all the voices in your mind and find out what it is that truly makes you tick as an individual, and create that around you, and you'll truly find happiness then, and you'll be able to help others heal as well if you truly just listen.
Now, the next two questions, because I never told you what the questions were. I just
Mm-mm.
told you I was going to be asking you. But the next two questions are very optional.
Okay.
What has been the very best moment of your life?
The very best moment of my life. I don't like to pick favorites. um, it's when I truly connected with nature. Definitely, I had a lot of trauma growing up, so I didn't really know what happiness was until I just started getting lost in the woods. And my best moments are when I'm alone and I'm surrounded by trees and wind and sun, sometimes rain. I love rain. Just everything. When there's a bit of all of the elements around me, that's when I feel happiest.
And what has been the worst moment of your life?
Worst moment, um, abuse, lack of love, not understanding why. You know, as a child, my worst moments were as a child for sure. Not knowing what unconditional love was, or, you know, not being loved and not being treated the way You know, it's not that I knew I should have been treated, just the way a child should be treated. Um, it was, it took me many, many years to come back from those moments.
And the question I've been dying to ask you is, and now in Canada, they're called First Nation, the natives. In the U.S., they're natives. But how do you feel about
The
the
classification?
the culture of natives and First Nation people?
Um, it it gave me an obscure image of what it meant. They're very closed off. This is the reservation that I'm closest to. They are very closed off because they're very wounded, so they don't want a lot of interference from outsiders. So I never tried to interfere because I wanted to respect their ways. And only when I left and I met other natives from different tribes did I truly get to feel welcomed and loved. And it helped me understand why they were the way they were as well. So there is a difference, but I wouldn't necessarily say that it's a difference from First Nation to all nations. It depends on what happens, what has happened specifically from place to place. And I'm just reconnecting with it right now. You know, I had bitterness when I left as a teenager, but now that I'm back, there's a much different openness and acceptance. And I truly believe that they're coming to a point where they're almost ready to open up and embrace all nations as well.
Now, what tribe or reservation are we speaking about?
I live closest to the Akwesasne Reservation.
Which,
So
believe it or not, is the reservation I'm from. I was, well, primarily, half my family is Canadian, half is U.S., because the reservation is 2/3 in Quebec and 1/3 in New York State. So you get to choose your citizenship pretty much by whatever driver's license or first document you get.
And there's a lot of animosity that gets created between that as well, right?
Oh,
I've met people from the island and I've met people from New York, and they don't like to intermingle with themselves very much either.
it's a very complex area, that's for sure.
Very, yes. Yes. So there's got to be more understanding and patience, right? And it's very colonial as a white person to try and insert themselves and force themselves upon a nation that's not ready for it yet either. You know,
Or
we have
even
to
ready
wait.
for each other.
Exactly. Yes.
Well, I can't thank you enough. You have bowled me over. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.